So this is going to be great, because today we have ourselves some trade updates in regards to some of the more older centers around the NHL. More older. That's a great way to phrase it. Just say older. Come on. Purple Pros, Lego. Purple Pros. Today we're talking about Sid the Kid over in Pittsburgh, and we're also talking about Naz in the Calgary Flames organization. Also sprinkling in a little bit of extra info too, because there is some more to dive into. But essentially, you know the drill. Sidney Crosby, NHL legend, 38 years old. His contract's a steal. He's producing a lot. He's on pace for 100 points yet again. He might actually hit it this time for the first time since 2019. He's been doing really well. And Nazem Kadri, on the other hand, he's doing as well as he could be, 10 points, 14 games, on pace for 59 points, but you have to really think about the status of the team being a factor into Kadri's point production too. Same could be said about Sid, although in the opposite direction. Which is why we are diving into the latest in trade talk for both of these guys, courtesy of our friend Lyle Richardson on Spectres Hockey from earlier this morning. Now, in general, I don't like to just take the Spectres directly and not credit the articles that Spectre cites, but really, this has everything that we need, so let's just go out there and dive into it here. This is how today's Spectres Hockey by Lyle Richardson, which will be linked in the description, starts out. It talks about the rumor mill and Sidney Crosby. Via TSN, Pierre LeBrun reports the trade rumors about Pittsburgh Penguins captain Sidney Crosby have quieted down since the start of the regular season. Their surprisingly strong start to the season is largely responsible for that. GM Kyle Dubas said he had very clear communication since the end of last season with Crosby and his agent about the club's plans going forward. While attempting to build for the long term, the Penguins also intended to be competitive this season. Spectre's note goes out there and says that Pierre LeBrun wonders whether the Penguins can maintain that strong start throughout the year, but for now it has stopped the media chatter about possible trade destinations for Sid. They're not the only Penguins who aren't featuring as prominently in the rumor mill as they once did. Sportsnet's Nick Kyprios pointed out that it'll take Malkin, Brian Rust, and Rickard Rakell out of the trade rumor talk if the Penguins can sustain their winning ways. And that is obviously the biggest factor when it comes to the Sidney Crosby trade discussions. It's going to be that Penguins team. Right now, they are tied for first in the Metro with 18 points in 14 games played. And they are tied for third place in the entire National Hockey League. They got off to a super hot start. Evgeny Malkin was at like 5 points in 2 games. Justin Brazeau was going out there as a total superstar, although now he is placed on the IR. It was too good to be true for him to be able to last the entire year. And Sidney Crosby's on pace for 100 points one more time. So this is the biggest factor in shutting down Crosby trade discussion, and it's not really surprising. If this team goes on a run, if this team finds themselves in the playoffs, if this team is able to do some damage, there's no reason for Sid to want to leave. The entire reason trade rumors for Sidney Crosby even started was because his agent wanted to see him win a Stanley Cup or two again. And I put emphasis on the or two part of that sentence. There was a very clear motivation. Hey, we want to see Crosby win a cup or 2 cups. We want to see him be in that contention spot twice, potentially. But now, hey, the Penguins are doing well. He could probably do that here. And for Nazem Kadri on the other side, things are looking so piss poor for the Calgary Flames. They're dead last in the National Hockey League with 8 points in 14 games. You take a look at the rest of the NHL, I mean, look at this. The 28th team in the league, Chicago, they're at 500 right now. There are only 4 teams in the league who are not at 500 hockey, and Calgary is the lowest one by far. So you can definitely say that the opposite is true for Nazem Kadri. The team is so bad, he's not able to produce as much. It just amplifies trade noise for the what is he, 35-year-old center over here. Let's head back over onto Spectre's Hockey and read the scoop as to what's going on with Naz. Nick Kyprios reports that Calgary Flames GM Craig Conroy could move Kadri if he gets a suitable offer. The 35-year-old center has been linked to multiple teams, but Kyprios suggested the Hurricanes as a possible destination because they've been relentlessly pursuing a top player in the trade market. However, they're believed to be on Kadri's 13-team no-trade list. The Vancouver Canucks and Montreal Canadiens have been mentioned as destinations for Kadri, and they're not on his list. They've also been linked to Bruins center Pavel Zacha. So, there you go, 3 destinations being labeled out here for Naz. Carolina, Vancouver, Montreal. Speaking about the Canucks, they are finally getting back Connor Garland against the Chicago Blackhawks today, so that's going to be good to pay attention to. Yeah, don't worry, I didn't miss out on it, Vancouver fans. We had some extra news and notes about that, but Garland is back, everybody, thank goodness. Nazem Kadri, though, could provide some extra forward support for a Vancouver team that desperately needs it, but alongside of Carolina and Montreal, they're all being listed here by Kyprios as potential destinations. But even though Carolina could be on Kadri's 13-team no-trade list, I honestly think it doesn't really matter at this point. Spectre's note goes out there and says that here, too, at the bottom. Teams can ask for permission to speak to the player or his agent to see what it would take to convince him to waive their no-trade list. The Vancouver Canucks have a more pressing need for help at center than the Canadiens. It's also been frequently pointed out that acquiring the agent Kadri would go against the Canadiens' habit of acquiring younger talent. Zacha would probably be more to the Canadiens' liking. However, it's rare for the Habs and Bruins to make deals together, given their long-standing rivalry. Speaking about the Hurricanes, Frank Saravalli reports they're seeking stopgap defensemen to replace their injured blue liners. Oh yeah, Shane Gostisbehere, he's out. He's been out for a while. He came back from injury, played 1 game, and then he's out again. It's not great. So, there you go. Maybe the Carolina Hurricanes not really pressing too hard for Nazem Kadri. Maybe they're more in the market for a defenseman. That would make sense considering their situation right now. But for Naz, I like what is being cooked up here. Vancouver may be a more desperate destination that would need a center more. Montreal doesn't really fit, I would say, and they don't really tend to go after older guys. So a trade like this would go pretty much against everything that Kent Hughes has been trying to build for the Montreal Canadiens. So you can respect the commitment to the bit here if Kent Hughes decides to pass on a guy like Nazem Kadri. But for now, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about these trade updates? Sid the Kid Crosby seems like he's staying put for now, and Nazem Kadri is a part of a league-worst Calgary Flames team, and the rumors are just starting to go like crazy. Vancouver, Montreal, Carolina, you name it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Where do you think he most likely goes, and what do you think the trade price is going to be should he actually get moved? Thoughts in the comment section below, because comments help out with the algorithm. I'd really appreciate that, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.